City Morning Show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. A most pleasant morning going out to all out there in TV land viewing us. We're coming to you from Orange Walk. Good morning. My name is Robert Checker Usher, and we welcome you to the Sugar City Morning Show for today. Today is Wednesday, folks, and we're here with you this morning, and it's the 18th day of March 2020. We send out all our blessings to you all out there, to you and your family. And from the Honorable Edmund Clay de Lancastro, he called and say to send out a special blessings to the entire country, especially in extension to the residents of Belize Rural North, And at the same time, we'll be telling you about the Mascal Agricultural Show, but we need to do our preliminaries this morning as we say good morning to Orange Walk and Corozal, good morning San Pedro, Kikaka. We got some news coming out from San Pedro that we'll be sharing with you. Got some news coming out from Chedomal that we'll be sharing with you all as well. We say good morning to our friends here in Belize City. Sadly to know what is happening in Belize City, but the minister will be here this morning, the Minister of National Security, and we'll be talking to him about what measures will be taken to all these crimes that are happening in the city. Good morning, Belmopan City. Good morning, San Ignacio, Santa Elena. We say hello to our friends there in Benqueviejo del Carmen. Benqueviejo del Carmen, and also Socots, Danriga, PG. Yeah, PG, nice place to go. I'm going to go to PG there and time. I hear the store to close on half day the PG. Well, if it's for precaution and it's for the better for us, well, let's do it that way, right? And also, we say good morning to Mango Creek and Placencia. Good morning to our entire country of Belize. And we will be hearing the feeling, the vibes right now coming from San Pedro, because we will be connecting with Delva. We know it's a little late. It's already 30 minutes after 7. Let's hope that she is still at home this morning, because I know she's a teacher and she take care of things and make sure that you go to school on time. But let's see. Delva is still. Let's see. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Mr. Checky. Good morning to everyone listening.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, girl, the morning good. Thank God.
Thanks God, Mr. Checky.
Yeah, so like how we feel so good this morning, then we have to give thanks and praise, and I leave that in your hands.
Oh yes. Before I share, can I just share a quick verse?
Sure.
All right. This is from Proverbs 8 verses 4 to 9. It says, "Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. As for him who lacks understanding, she says to him, Come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine I have mixed. Forsake foolishness and live, and go in the way of understanding." Almighty and Heavenly Father, Lord, as we come before your throne once again this morning, giving you thanks above all things for your wonderful gift of life and of grace. Lord, I pray that as we go about this day now, Lord, that we turn away from the things that take us farther from you, Lord, and that you may fill us with your right spirit, O God, that we may be a people, Lord, the blessed people that we are, that we may humble ourselves, Lord, and walk in that path that you have so designed for us to walk in. Lord, this morning I pray for every person, Lord, who may have lost their way at some point. I pray for every person who have not gotten to know you as yet, O Lord. May you speak into their hearts, O God, for it is only through you that we gain salvation. I give you thanks, O God, for your amazing grace. Thank you for your great love on us. Thank you for protecting us, Lord. And I pray that you continue to hover over us, Lord, as we go through each day. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Mighty name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. Once again, good morning, Delvi.
Good morning, Mr. Checky. Yes.
Okay. I received some good news from San Pedro yesterday. Good for a lot, but I know some people not really like what is happening, and it's no confirmed case of the COVID-19. The mayor of San Pedro has decided that all mass gathering, as the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition presented in their press conference, that they will not be issuing any kind of extension to bars and clubs, and they will limit them to the prescribed amount, which is less than 100. All functions at the park will be cancelled. No function at the park nobody will be given any kind of permit to do anything at the park. Right now, all the Easter functions are on hold. We understand up to the Costa Maya, they are cancelling that right now. According to the mayor, because the Costa Maya is not a one-day thing, it's an international event, so they have to make arrangements all over in the Caribbean to make sure that they bring in those delegates. So the mayor is doing that for the protection of the community of San Pedro. So we must commend him and the council for that, no?
Definitely. We have, them being the leaders, they have to make those crucial decisions there to protect us, because those are for Costa Maya, a lot of people come in.
Right.
So
maybe by then, first God, we might be clear of the threat of the coronavirus. But like I mentioned, that a lot of arrangements have to make for that, because remember they bring delegates from Mexico, from Guatemala, from different parts of the Honduras, Belize for the Costa Maya, for the Reina de la Costa Maya. So then people have to get themselves prepared, So it might sound weird that say, but that is until August. Why will you cancel it from now? But they know best, I believe. They are the authorities, so we have to respect that, right?
Yes. You have to stay on the safe side, man.
Yeah.
And thanks God, once again, Mr. Checky, that we are still one of the corona-free countries.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a blessing.
Yeah. Right now in the U.S., the 50 states has been announced with the coronavirus. The coronavirus has hit 50 states in the U.S. 7 NBA players are diagnosed with the coronavirus. So many things are happening.
Wow.
So many people don't catch it. So many people have died already.
Wow.
So Belize is blessed.
Blessed. That's the word, because we did nothing for it.
Yeah.
That's why that it is my prayer, Mr. Checky. And like I always tell everybody around me, I know we're not perfect. That is not an excuse. God has been so good to us, continue to be good to us with Belize, with hurricane, tsunami, whatever. And Belize, for God-given reason, is untouched. It's an awakening for us as a people, to rise up, and we have to exercise that faith that only God has us whole. And we need to be thankful. We need to, humble ourselves unto Him.
Yeah.
It is a blessing.
Yep. Well, Delvi, thanks very much, and have yourself a wonderful time, and hope all will go well with yourself, your students, and the family, and everyone that surrounds you.
Definitely, Mr. Checky. All the same to you. And stay safe as well.
Yeah. I'm doing my best to stay that way.
All right. All right. God bless.
Thank you all the way from San Pedro La Isla Bonita. That was Delvi this morning. And folks, now we need to check in with the Belize Met Service before we share some more relevant information with you right here this morning on the Sugar City Morning Show. Like I mentioned, we'll be having Minister Aragon coming in, and we'll be talking about the preventative measures when it comes to the coronavirus, and as well as the shootings, the killings in the city. What measures will be looked at, what measures will be taken on, as we check in with the Belize Met Service right here today for Wednesday, the 18th day of March 2020. The general situation, generally fair weather prevails. The 24-hour forecast, sunny with cloudless spells today and partly cloudless skies tonight. Showers will be isolated. The winds are blowing east at 5 to 15 knots. The sea state choppy. Let's take a look at the temperatures for today. In the coast, 29 Celsius, 84 Fahrenheit. Inland, 32 Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to be 90 degrees today. And in the hills, 27 Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit as we look at the temperatures for tonight. In the coast, 26 Celsius, 78 Fahrenheit. Inland, 21 Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the hills, 19 Celsius, 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Advisories, watches, and warnings, there is none right now. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for similar weather conditions. As we take a look at the astronomical conditions right here this morning, there will be a low tide this morning at 11:27, followed by a high at 6:01 this evening. And also another low tide at 1:36 this afternoon, followed by a low tomorrow morning at 7:06. And the sun was up bright and early this morning at 5:58 and will set at 6:03 today. Let's take a look at the situation with the moon. The moon will set today at 1:32 and rise tomorrow morning at 3. Thanks to Francisca Wellington for that report right here on the Sugar City Morning Show. We want to wish you all the best, folks, and we have some information. The Honorable Edmund Clay Lancaster says good morning to everyone, and is saying that the agricultural fair that was supposed to be held next weekend, it was supposed to be on the 29th of March. We want to tell you that that has been postponed, all right? That will not happen, and the minister says sorry for any inconvenience caused, but it is for our health, and those functions usually comes very hard. They usually got a lot of crowd, a lot of people usually they're right there. So that is what is happening, folks. But we have a message here from San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, and this one was dated yesterday. Mayor Daniel Guerrero and the San Pedro Town Council hereby informs the general public that preventative measures will be applied in order to ensure the safety of our residents and visitors from the coronavirus COVID-19. In agreement with the press conference held by the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition, as they mentioned, limit social gatherings no more than 100 persons. The San Pedro Town Council is forced to cancel the following events and activities. It starts from the Mother's Day extravaganza, Teachers' Day, all Easter event activities, and the International Costa Maya Festival has been cancelled. Also, in this effect, the San Pedro Town Council will not be granting permission for the use of the Central Park or any public space for any event or activity from now until July. The Hamburger Stadium and the Honorable Louis Sylvester Sports Complex, formerly Socachispas Field, will be closed completely to the public access. Events and or activities scheduled for July onwards are to put on hold until the government of Belize clears the limit on social gathering. In order to further secure our safety, the San Pedro Town Council and the San Pedro Liquor License Board will not be issuing liquor license extension to any establishment nor for any private event effective immediately. The San Pedro Town Council kindly asks everyone to keep informed, practice social distance, and practice good hygiene. Please be reminded that schools will be closed on Friday. That's Friday, March 20th, 14 days, and this is not a vacation. Mayor Daniel Guerrero and the San Pedro Town Council invites everyone to tune in and to stay tuned to all the reports coming out from the San Pedro Town Council. So that is what is happening there in San Pedro, folks. And you know, lots of other events has been cancelled. The Tilapia Fest has been cancelled as well. All the football, all FFB games have been cancelled as well, and other big events with the gathering of more than 100 persons. The NEBL have been cancelled as well. I was chatting with one of my friends from Chetumal yesterday, and he was asking if he was asking us if the border here is closed. I was telling him not yet, but he's saying that in Chetumal there is no confirmed case as yet. They had some alerts, but it proved that it was not positive. And also the shops at Chetumal, they are overpacked and they are getting scarce of most of the items. He was telling me that things like Clorox and toilet papers are difficult to get. So, and if you want to go to Chetumal, he's advising that you go adults and don't take your kids. It's a rush right now, so if you go there, be careful. But let's buy in Belize and support Belize. We have more information, folks, but we have the minister coming up this morning, Minister Elodio Aragon, to talk to us about the preventative measures and about this virus that is going around the world, and Belize is still free, thank God, up to now, and we'll ask him to elaborate a little bit about the measures that will be taken when it comes to the crime situation in the city. So folks, we will be taking a short break and we'll be back right here on North Television Channel 10.
Would you support a thoroughgoing audit of the 21st century at the Lands Department?
2008 right up to 2016.
Audit from 2000 to 2016.
Acres in Tiger Creek, Forest Walk, 3,000 acres, 0.961 hectares, Jaime Briceño and John Briceño, 827.848 square yards to John Briceño, 5.4 acres to John Briceño and Jaime Briceño, 20 acres in Progreso to John Briceño, again, 6 acres in Progreso, the all of Progreso Gawi, 20 acres freehold to John Briceño, along the New River, to Eligio Briceño, Eudaldo Briceño, and Graciano Briceño, 525 acres of land, 98.8 acres, Eligio Briceño, Graciano Briceño, and Eudaldo Briceño.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multipurpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Girl, that about time you reach my house.
Girl, you know how things go. I busy with everything. But how you?
Since my son got married the girl far down the road, I left here with this whole addition to this house. And I don't know where I'm going to do with it. But I think I
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. Nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass, 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Chunosh, Sartaneja, and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass Project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional road works will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan Muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Rosfrans, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Rosfrans.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
And we also asked Fonseca about a recording secretly made of former party leader John Briceño when he was putting Fonseca on serious blast. So we asked Fonseca about it today.
John Briceño, he has gone mad. We really have to sit back and reflect on what he's saying. Launching this tirade, this attack, is absolutely disgraceful and difficult to understand. But the truth is, in any other country, with a few exceptions, had them made such outlandish statements, this man would be forced to resign, to demit office immediately.
Sugar City Morning Show. And welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 21 minutes now away from 8 o'clock. It's a lovely, beautiful Wednesday, and folks, you know, the minister is always here with us on Wednesday, and when he's not here, he makes sure that somebody's here to represent Orange Walk East. Want to say good morning to the minister, and this is how we do it. Morning, Minister.
Lombok now, Cheki.
Lombok, yes,
Oh my
morning,
gosh.
sir.
Well, good morning, Cheki, and of course, good morning to all our TV viewers out there, and of course, to those who are listening to us via
East Radio.
East Radio 104.9. I want to say a pleasant good morning, and it's always a pleasure being here, Cheki. You know, I think it is important for us to share with our constituents, and of course, share with all our viewers and listeners in terms of and have the discussions that we need to have in terms of the issues that are affecting our constituents, and likewise that of our country. So I think it is important, and I'm always glad to you guys giving me the time to be here on Channel 10, no? So
yeah, well, it's a pleasure having you, because when you come, you always bring a lot of good news, and we hear about the good things happening in the East. Minister, it has been reported that 50 states in the U.S. as well has been under the weather with the coronavirus. How are we looking Belize-wise right now?
well, up to Belize, as far as I know, we are still corona-free. That means that doesn't mean that it's not here. It could well be that it's here, but we haven't gotten where we have gotten a positive test in terms of the coronavirus. So as far as we know, we don't have any coronavirus as yet in this country. That is good news, I think.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is something that we have to be wary of. And I think the government, along with the leader of the opposition, I think they had a press conference
on Monday.
On Monday, where the government and the opposition basically got together to look at ways and means in terms of addressing the issue of the coronavirus. This is not only about the fact that there could well be an outbreak in terms of the coronavirus or the COVID-19 that they call it now. But likewise, there's a lot of implications because, what has been happening across the globe. You have countries who are closing their borders. People are not flying out again. Movement of people have come to next to a standstill. If you look at all the sites in Rome and all these places, where a lot of people would be visiting, they are not visiting again. Everybody is, and most of these countries are in basically a lockdown in terms of curtailing the movement of people. And this is all in an effort to reduce the spread of the coronavirus or the COVID-19. And I think that in terms of Belize, we already see Guatemala confirmed cases. We have Mexico that are confirmed cases in Cancun. And so it is very close to us, all in the Caribbean you have cases, etc. And I think what the government has done and will be doing and will more than likely have to be implementing new measures, these are all in an effort to safeguard the health in our country. And I think it is important because, one, you must realize that, this is a small country. Our healthcare system is not to the extent where we could, and I don't think any healthcare system in any part of the world is ready to deal with an issue like this.
Because even the US are running out of materials, no?
Exactly. It's not going to be an easy thing if we have a serious outbreak, and therefore I think the government is being very responsible in ensuring that it puts in the measures to protect its citizens. And I think in terms of closing the borders in the south, in the west, I know they have not closed the border in the north in terms of where the free zone is, etc. And likewise with the Philip Goldson International Airport, that has not closed as yet. But I think these are the last measures that will come into place in terms of border closings. And I think that I would not doubt that will happen very soon, right? Depending on how fluid this situation develops. And I think that these are necessary steps, and also you can see that there's a lot of airlines who are cutting down on the amount of planes coming in. So definitely it all depends on how this situation develops. If you see we have more cases popping up in Mexico, I'm sure they're going to close the border, because at the end of the day, how we do by reducing the spread of this virus is by having less interaction in terms of people out there in large gatherings, etc. And I think that we are glad to know that none such case has been found in Belize as yet, but we must prepare and plan for the worst case scenario, which is, let's say we have an outbreak here in Belize. And I think our authorities, I know at the cabinet level, I know we have had all our CEOs on alert. They are putting in measures from the transport department right up to the health and everybody in between, the police, the military. So there's a lot of things being done right now to safeguard this nation.
Let's say good morning to our first caller this morning. Minister, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How close are our borders? We're talking about the western border closed, but if I stand to be corrected, the kids that go to school in Benken and Cayo, are they not crossing the border to go to school? Then we're talking about, you have a place like Arenal. Arenal is a town right on the border. I mean, is that closed? And I know our border are porous, but are we doing everything not to permit people coming over? I mean, it's a question that I'm asking, because you mentioned that the border, the western border is closed, right? But then our border is very, very porous. Like we have here in Botes and you have in Halate, it's very, very porous. Are we doing our best not to permit people coming in? Because when it's closed, it means no one should be going out or coming in. And that means closed. And again, we're not closing the northern border, but then how are we protecting our people that work at the free zone, right? A lot of Orange Walk people and Corridor people work at the free zone, but what are we doing about that? You know, the Mexicans they are not encouraging their people to come across, right? But yet we still have that free zone open. You know? It's a concern for the Belizean population. Thank you very much.
Right. And I think very valid concerns, Kara. I could tell you that we had discussions in terms of Arenal, and we've asked the military to step in and assist us in those areas. When you look at the west, of course, very porous, as he said, you could close the border, but there's a lot of other routes that people take right across the border. And I think it is important that we do the enforcement. That was one of the discussions we had where the request for more of the enforcement to ensure that we don't have these border crossing. And it's not only in the west, but you have here in San Carlos and all these areas, Pachacan area, where people just come across. So all of these things are being looked upon. Definitely, I think that in terms of the free zone, of course that is a concern, but we are looking at that situation, and discussions have been tabled, and we are sure that you see, it's a balance that we have to have in terms that you have 1,000 odd people working there. And at the end of the day, we have to look at that. But we are looking at we have to look at where it balances off. You know, is it worth it to have that, or do we look at the safeguard of the country? And I do think that is being looked upon, and I am sure that measures will be. And I nearly want to tell you that I'm confident that we'll see these borders closed. You know, and in a very short time. I think the northern border, and even when you look at maybe the Philip Goldson International Airport, that might come to a standstill there because of the mere fact, and not only in terms of what Belize is doing, but what the other neighboring countries are doing. Mexico will more than likely close down their own borders here, and likewise the United States might and along with the airline agencies, might stop sending planes to Belize. So we have seen this happen in terms of the cruise ship. We did not close off the cruise ship. It was closed from the cruise ship industry. They basically said we're not going to send, we're going to go on a 30 days moratorium in terms of cruise ships. So we have seen these things develop all around us. Guatemala has done the same in their border, etc. But I think at the end of the day, it is up to us Belizeans who live here to do our best to adhere to these things, you know. And I know that the advisories from the Ministry of Health have been going out advising people. We see a lot of rumors going out. I just hear in Orange Walk, I think yesterday we had a large rumor going about people coming in, etc. I think the Ministry of Health responded to look into that information, etc. Only to find out in terms that the information was not accurate, you know. And so these are the kind of things that I think that will continue to happen because, you know, in these terms, a lot of people tend to panic and worry tremendously, and I do think that there is cause for worry. But at the same time, we must do our part as citizens in terms of the hygiene that we do, in terms of washing of our hands, doing the basic thing that the experts have been requesting of us. And I think if we do that and do our best, I think we will be okay. Definitely the coronavirus is all over the place right now. And I think it is only a matter of time before it reaches Belize. We are not immune. We are part of the world. And I think that the movement of people, and that is why I think the government is putting down heavy in terms of trying to curtail that movement. Of course, you will always have people who want to come into the country for whatever reason and be coming into the porous areas that we have. And I think the enforcement element is a tremendous part of that to try to curtail these issues. But at the end of the day, I think the government, along with the leader of the opposition, they had a press conference, and they basically shared a number of things that will be happening. And one of the big part of this is we have to look likewise of the consequence and what are the implications of having outbreaks of the coronavirus here. And not even if we don't have an outbreak, what it is presently doing to our economy. When you now have no cruise ships here, you have a lot of people who are tour guides, who are now not being employed because they have no cruise ships coming in, no tours to be done. You know, it affects not only them, it affects from the people who do here braiding to the people who have their living off of the visitors who come to this country? What about the people in our hotel industry?
Yeah,
who
but
will now see massive decreases, if not massive cancellations that are taking place.
But the utmost concern about this is the health.
Of course,
right?
of course. But apart from the health, you have people who live from hand to mouth, and it will impact their lives.
Yeah, because us as musicians, you know, for the next 2 months, all of our gigs have been cancelled out. But I say it's for our health.
That's right.
But Minister, someone sends a greeting for you all the way from San Jose Socots to ask you to ask the different churches to pray for the nation. It says, saludo al ministro de parte del Ángel Cocom and their family all the way from San Jose Socots. And say, feliz dia, ministro.
Yeah, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. And I think that we have to have a collective effort on this. I know the government is going to do the kind of stimulation in terms of the economy, trying to see how we get support to these people who will not be able to work. It's not because they don't want to work, it's because the fact that the industry has been affected because of the coronavirus. And I think that all of these things, I think the government is trying to see in how and in what best ways it can reach out to those that are mostly affected in this scenario. And I think that we need some time for that to play out, but I'm glad that government has stepped in along, and it has not only been the government, but a bipartisan effort in terms of having the leader of the opposition on board, so that we could put politics aside and look at what is needed to safeguard the health of our nation, and to look at dealing with the implications and the drawbacks as a result of the COVID-19 virus situation. And I think that is well, and I know there's a lot more that needs to be done, but at this mere fact that we are making an effort finding the close to $75 million to be injected in reaching out to people, I think that is a tremendous move. It shows the great leadership of our government right now in stepping up and trying to address this situation. That is a serious situation, because when you look at America, Trump has put up what? I don't remember how much billions of dollars, you know. He doesn't,
billions.
But they not deal with millions, then they're like $190 billion. Oh, no, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, watching news last night, it was in the trillions of dollars, actually.
Yeah, he got higher than $1 billion. But Minister, a very important point was laid out at that press conference. We know they say about the schools will be closing on Friday for 2 weeks and going into the Easter holidays. Is there a timeline that you know of when it comes to the mass gathering?
Well, the mass gathering, I think they've already asked and trying to reduce the mass gathering. And I think for a large part, you have major events that are coming, basically postponed or cancelled.
Yeah.
You have the agriculture trade show that is now being put off. You have other events, concerts that were going to be held, etc. Yeah. A lot of these gatherings have now been requested or on their own are being put off because of the situation in terms of this. And I think that a lot of us have to be responsible in this manner. I'm glad to know that we still don't have a positive case, and that is good news. But like a lot of people have to say, we have to do the testing. The testing must be done in every case where we suspect. Testing must be done, and I know up to now we have not tested any positive cases yet. But like I said, it is only a matter of time as far as I'm concerned. But we must put the measures in place to do the best in terms of dealing with this. And when you look at the schools closing for 2 weeks, that will then lock straight into the Easter holiday. So you're basically looking at kids being out of school for 1 month.
Right, 1 month.
And I think a lot of it has to do, it's not a 1 month vacation time for anybody. It is a 1 month time for us to limit our movements. Especially if you hear down the road we have an outbreak in Belize. We must limit the movement in terms of our families and in terms of movement in the country, because the only way I think a lot of countries are employing the isolation in terms of people, in terms that if you isolate your country and you isolate families, I mean, even if let's say you have the coronavirus in your family, at your house, but by you and your family staying there, not moving out, not meeting people, not interacting, not contaminating the area,
it stays there,
it stays there, and you get over it, and it hopefully dies there, and that is why they say that you need what? But 14
days
and that, because by that time you know if you have it or you don't,
Yeah.
and things like that. So I think it is very important that we adhere to the advice from the Ministry of Health.
That was what I was going
Very
on,
important.
because
People come up with all kind of
Yeah.
things where you say on Facebook, etc.
and nothing is confirmed until it comes out from the Ministry of Health, right?
Exactly, and we and a lot of us out there, we want to get panicky. Just with these rumors yesterday, it was made to understand
There
that
was big alerts.
Big alerts. People they run, go get them picnic at school. They take out their kids out of school.
Yeah, and it's unfair. It's unfair, for us that are doing that to put these parents in these panics and these shocks.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we just have to be, as parents, yes, we have to be concerned, but we can't go into no panic mode and that, because that will help no one.
Because nobody
Spreading
can know.
rumors and all of these things doesn't help anybody.
No ordinary citizen out there cannot know if someone has the virus. Only the Ministry of Health can know that, right? When it goes to the centers that they go and check persons to see if they have this virus or not. So if somebody say, "Hey, I saw a man they cough out this, so he got this thing,"
Yeah.
you know, work so.
Or somebody come across the border. That work so. And I think that there are numbers out there right now that they can call. I don't have the numbers with me at this point in time.
I think they have
But
a number,
they are published.
0800
Yes.
Ministry of Health, something like that.
Exactly. They're on radio, and of course they're also on the television ads that the
Right,
Ministry of Health is putting out. And I advise people, those are the numbers you could check with to get the accurate information. But I do think that we need not panic. We need to be prepared, and I think that is the most important thing for us, to limit the exposure to the COVID-19, better known as the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So
Well, Minister, it's
these are the
3
things.
minutes away from here to see how fast time
Time
fly.
fly.
But we need to take one break, and when we come back, I want to ask you about the serious ring of crime that happened in Belize City.
I think it's
And
important
if
we
any-
talk about it, yes,
And
of
any
course,
other
of course.
and any other preventative measures will be put into that. But folks, we are live right here on North Television Channel 10 and also on East Radio 104.9. We say good morning to the listeners of the East Radio. Robert Checker Usher along with Minister Aragon right here on the Sugar City Morning Show. We'll be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. Why you the letter here?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man. No.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
So all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Look at the people leading the PUP anti-corruption charade. The $3 million man, who the U.S. Ambassador Dieter wrote to Washington about credible reports that he accepted a $3 million bribe for an oil contract, which he used to purchase his cable company. The malignant tumor, who diverted tens of millions of dollars sent from Venezuela for medicine and housing for the poor to settle his friend's private UHS debt. Mr. 666, who while he was Minister of Education, over $666,000 meant for scholarships to poor students was diverted to friends and cronies. Even a 4-year-old got thousands of dollars under this scam. Baby Toomer, who is the principal in the company that received $3.5 million for a piece of land close to the Philip Golson Airport. Belize, these are the leaders of your new PUP.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. 2 minutes after 8 o'clock, North Television Channel 10 and East Radio 104.9. We're bringing this live broadcast with Minister Aragon right here this morning. It's Wednesday morning, and usually on Wednesday we have the minister or representative from Orange Walk East. Minister, we have been hearing over the past 2 days not only about the coronavirus, but the shooting and the killing in Belize City.
Yeah, that is very tragic. It's a situation that, you know, I wouldn't want to be speaking about because these are not good news. Jackie.
It's not good news,
It's
sir.
bad news, you know, where we have our young people killing one another out there in the cities, in the streets of Belize City. You know, it is a very, very tough situation, and my condolences and sympathies go to the families. You know, we had people shot yesterday.
Yes.
You know, one passed away. I mean,
young
these
little
are
girl.
separate incidents. Of course, to a large extent, some of these things are related, and the hard effort in terms of what needs to be done by the police department right now is something that people are asking for more stringent kind of action on the part of the police department. And we have been here before, not one time, but several times, Checky, as far as I could remember, where we have these spikes in crime, especially violent crime in terms of gun-related shooting incidents and murders. And these are the kind of things that, you know, we would hope that we never had to deal with, but it is a matter that we have to deal with. And I do think that today there's a press conference this evening at 2 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, where we'll have certain measures being put into place, you know, certain drastic measures that needs to be put to arrest the situation.
That's by the Ministry of National Security?
That's right.
Okay.
And I think this evening we'll have that press conference. Also, Checky, I'd like to say that there's a lot more that has to be done, right? Dealing with this crime situation is not an easy thing. It's a problem that I know where you could just say, well, we're going to deal with this issue this month and we forget about it. It is not like that. these kinds of flare-ups in terms of where we have gang rivalry, people shooting one another, etc., shooting indiscriminately in terms of shooting in people's homes,
Yeah.
Is terrible. And I do know that at the ministry, especially in the police department, which are the front runners for trying to arrest this situation, it is a challenging thing for them right now. And I do think that there's a lot more that has to be done, a lot more in terms of intelligence gathering, or in terms of building up our capacity and capabilities in that area. A lot has to be done in terms of legal reform that needs to be done.
Yeah.
A lot has to be done in terms of how we affect our patrols on the ground, our prosecution, our employment of our forensic department. There's a lot that has to be done, and this is not a 1 month situation. This is something that must come
Ongoing.
into place to not only arrest the situation, but to deal with it for the short and medium and long term.
We got a call up on the line, Minister. Hello, good morning.
Hello, I want to ask one question to the Commissioner.
Yes, go ahead.
I more that good morning. I am calling from San Ignacio.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
And I have some rumors that they got the coronavirus and orange drugs. That's true from Chinese?
No, that was just rumors. There's no confirmed case as yet. I think we have to listen to the Ministry of Health, and they will be the ones that will highlight us in terms of that. But as far as I know, they did went out to look into that situation. But as far as I know, I think one of those places, or the rumors that were out there about they had it, etc., was not so. As far as I know,
Yeah, it has been confirmed that is negative, Carla.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Sure.
So yes, Minister.
Yeah, so, well, like I said, Cheki, the situation is dire in terms that we have these incidents occurring. It is sad, it is heart-wrenching. I mean, anybody will lose one family member. I mean, you don't know where that family got you. And then especially when we have people who are not involved in these things become casualties at this situation, it is sad. And I am at the Ministry of level, at the Ministry of National Security at that level, definitely we have been asking, and we will demand from the Commissioner of Police, along with the other people that make up the ministry, in terms of the COs, in terms of the commanders of the various Coast Guard, BDF, etc. We'll have to sit and come up with a strategic plan to deal with this issue.
Yeah,
and these things will cost money. These things will have to come to be done, but I think it is necessary.
Yes.
And these flare-ups have occurred time and time, and will always occur. You'll always have incidences where that come together that spikes crime. But we have a serious situation because it is our young people committing these crimes. The police department will no doubt arrest this situation. I am confident that with the measures that will be put in place, we will see a reduction. But definitely, that is not the solution to the problem either. This is a problem that is for the long haul. It didn't get to where it was just yesterday.
Yes.
This is an issue that's
been
there. And we need to look at those issues. And I think definitely we must do more within the ministry. But it is not only a situation for the ministry. This is an issue that affects
everyone,
our entire community. And I think it needs a holistic approach in terms of how we'll deal with our young people. And that means from when that child comes into this world, from when this child hits in terms of everybody has a role to play in this child's development, and we need to give the kind of support to these various areas in terms of this child growing up. You have the parents. We need good parental guidance to start with in the first place.
Yep.
We need to be able to give the opportunities, the accessibility to education.
We can't close
as
your
they
eyes.
grow up. Exactly. We have to look at these things, and these things does not only lie on the shoulders of the police department or the Ministry of National Security. It lies within everybody in our community, starting from the parents, right down to the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Education, looking at our health system. Everywhere we must be able to have that support to ensure that we arrest this situation in terms of ensuring that people don't fall in that line of life.
Is there anything the ministry is looking at, Minister, when it comes to confidence for persons giving tips to the department? We see one lot of them, when you look on the forensic files from the US or some of the police story, most cases are got closed with information from persons around. No?
Well, you have the Crime Stoppers, you know. Crime Stoppers is anonymous. When you call it, I think the call goes away to Miami, and you know, they take that down, etc. But in Belize, remember, we are a small society, you know.
Yeah.
So everybody know everybody in your neighborhood.
So that's
one easy thing, and that is why in the courts we have a hard time, because we still rely on the IC witness. You know, we rely on people testifying in court.
Sometimes I got evidence with weapons and things like that.
Yes, of course, that helps, but a lot has to do with the IC witness, and I think we have to do a lot more in terms of having us go to the forensic department, so that we don't have to rely on the IC witnesses. And I think that there's a great need for law reform. I call it law reform because it has to do with the judiciary, and it has to do with the laws that govern this country in terms of the dealing with crime. No.
Somebody say good morning, Checky, and Minister. I say, Minister, there is a lot to be done when as to people seeing these crimes not wanting to talk, because if they talk, they will be repersecuted. Repercussions.
Of course, that is always the fear, Checky, and we can't say that is not a reality. It is a reality out there. I mean, you say something and you go testify against them. People, you live in the same neighborhood, when people come, then people know where you live. They know. So it is a challenging situation, and that is why I think we need to turn to the laws. We need to have more stringent laws to deal with violators, because I think we have the laws that are there, but quote, and we have to. It is not only law reform in terms of the Criminal Justice Act and things like that. How we go about the penalties in terms of offenses, but it also has to look at how we set guidelines for the magistrate to deal with, because at the end of the day, I mean, we started first with people who get firearms can't get bail. Well, they don't get bail, but within the weakness, you get Supreme Court bail. So there's a lot of things that has to be done, and it's not only a matter for people to say, well, oh, it's the police. The police is one entity in the whole criminal justice system. You know, you have the penal system, which is dealing with the prisons, etc. You have the judiciary, you have the legislators that has to look at these things. So, to me, there's a lot that has to be done, and definitely I think that this effort must be done. And it's not only there, neither. It also has to do with how we deal with our young people, how we deal with the education system to reach out to these people. What alternatives do you have when people don't go to school? Like I said, they drop out of school. Do we have systems in place? Yes, we have one or two, but maybe that is where we need to spend more. And I think that definitely this needs to be looked at seriously. If not, we arrest the situation.
Somebody say more strict penalties. 8 months
from now, yes, a lot of things we have to look at. Next 6 months, we have another flare-up. And I think for the long haul, in terms of dealing with the short, medium, and long-term priorities, we have to really look at this. I mean, I've been here a long time in this situation, you know, and right now, you know, I never had for the time being that I've been at the Ministry of National Security, I don't really have a hand in there. You know, right now they're giving me a little more day to day, but the time for me is limited. I have to focus a lot in terms of what is happening here in the constituency. Election, My thing is that definitely something has to be done. We're going to arrest this situation right here, but we have to be real. There's a lot more that has to be done in terms of dealing with this situation, so that we can see the downward trend that is consistent with reducing violent crime and dealing with gun violence. For me, our biggest problem in this country is dealing with gun-related crime and violence.
Minister,
gun is the problem.
I think it was 2 weeks ago we had a pass out of 100+ new officers. Do you believe that those areas needs more attention, more boots on the ground? Do you believe that will come out of the press conference today, if there will be more patrols in those areas? But let's get this call. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I have a comment now that a lot of kids are being lost because of poor prosecution. I think the police force need to send people to take at least to UB to take at least a course in criminal law, right? So that they can prosecute. You know, because most cases are being lost because of poor prosecution. The lawyers go there and they wrap up the poor prosecutor, and that case is lost. So a lot of criminals are walking the streets because lawyers go fight their case, and the police force has no good prosecutors. Right? That's my point of view. Right? You can see that the police force, they're not trained to go to court and fight a case. You know, and even when they're doing their reporting, their words they're malspelled. They don't spell the word correctly, and that's what the lawyers they use. They find a loophole to get this thing, and they win their cases. So all in all, I think the police force need to reinforce their people so they can prosecute properly a big case or a small case. That's a big problem we have in our police force. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of areas that has to be stepped up, right? You mentioned just now about recruits.
Right.
Listen to me. I have always said that recruits, they're not about the amount of police officers you have, you know. It is the quality of police officers that you have. That's like when you go to battle, you go carry 100 men, but if you got 20 solid men with you, you could withstand and deal with that.
That 100.
Yeah, you understand me? Because it comes down with training. It comes down to a lot of these things, and it starts from the recruitment process. It starts with training and advanced training. I mean, our investigators have to reach a certain level in terms of being able to investigate homicides, to investigate robberies and all these things. You know, you need to be at a certain standard to do these things, you know. Our prosecution that the caller spoke about, a lot of issues are there that has to be addressed, and they have to be addressed properly if we are going to deal with this situation. Definitely, when you look at he talks about prosecution, it's not only about prosecution, it is about the rules that govern in terms of prosecution. There's a lot of things that are outdated in our laws, and basically gives the offender an advantage over law enforcement. And I say this because you look at England, for instance. You know, I had the privilege to go to England, and I worked, was attached to a police department out there, I think in Wales, if I'm not mistaken. And you look at how they go about in terms of a lot of the law reforms that they have done in terms of a system, in terms of prosecuting offenders. We still outdated, brother. We're like 30 years behind.
What?
These are the things we have to change in terms of giving law enforcement and prosecution a little bit more edge in terms of being out there to deal effectively and win the cases in court. And you know, and of course the situation in terms that we have liars that go there. I do believe we need a reform in the judiciary, reform in terms of the laws that govern especially prosecution and investigation. There's a number of things that has to be done, but a large extent we have to look at that. It's not only a matter for the ministry or the police or judiciary. Of course, they have a big role to play, but we have a lot of other entities out there. You look at the system for prison. I mean, when you go in a prison, I think there's excellent programs in prison. What happens when you leave that prison? Where's the support that follows? You understand me? Mm-hmm. And remember, people come out maybe one said, you know what, I done with crime, but and go right back into the same neighborhood, the same situation. There's a lot of things that must be done on all fronts. And I think that's the only way we can really arrest and deal with this situation for the long haul.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning. Another thing pops to mind, right? A couple months ago, I heard about the United States of America donating body cams and vehicle cams for the police. I haven't seen a police officer reporting through the body cam or a vehicle cam. You know, these were given to the police so that they can be used as evidence when they go to court for an arrest or nothing. What we're seeing a lot is the public videoing what policemen are doing. But you don't have any policeman posting anything from their video cam or their vehicle cam, what really took place. You know, so it's a point to ponder, because if they give you something to use, why don't you use it? Why don't you use it for evidence to prove what the criminal was doing? Because that's why they give you the body cams and the vehicle cams, right? So that you can be used these images as evidence in court. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I think when it comes to the vehicle cameras and that, I think they are there. Of course, the thing that when public say, you know, the seat out there, this I know where the public take something and put it on Facebook. There are strict guidelines in terms of that. In terms of the body cam, I don't know how much they got.
But can those
and
use
those
in
body
court?
cams will not be given to everybody either.
Can those
put in
videos
terms of
information
the,
used
I
in
don't
court?
think we have the quantity.
Can those video footage take from the body cam or from the
Of course,
vehicles used in court?
Of course they can. All depends how they were handled, etc. But definitely, I think they can. So these are matters that we have to look into, checking. And this crime situation, like I said, is dire in terms that, yes, we have these spikes, and every now and then you get these serious situation where you have a spike in murders and shooting, and it's sad, but we have to look at it. And definitely we are looking at the Ministry of National Security, which is the front runner on this. To be prepared in terms of coming up with a strategic. I know we are going into some strategic planning to look at the way forward and how we can deal with this situation. But what I'm trying to say is that this situation is not only a matter for the police, it is a matter for everybody in the various ministries and areas, and a holistic plan must come to the front. No?
So we are encouraging residents to tune in to the press conference. When is the press conference, Minister?
I think 2 o'clock today.
2 o'clock today.
2 o'clock today, I think.
Okay, and that will be aired on all the different stations over the country. It's important that we listen to these press conferences. It's 22 minutes after 8, folks. We'll be taking a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking also about some development in Orange Walk East. So Robert Cheque Usher and Minister Aragon live on the East Radio this morning and right here on North Television, Channel 10.
El uso PUP es el cáncer del PUP que que debes de hablar, ese cáncer que tenemos. Ese es el cáncer que tenemos que cumplir en ese país. Ese cáncer que quitaron y robaron millones y millones y millones y millones y millones de dólares de la gente. Eso hizo un poquito de dinero. Millones, tens of millions of dollars. We are those millionaires. Those people that get millions of dollars over the 10 years that we are the government.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Hallover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Would you support a thorough audit of the 21st century? 2008 to 2016. Audit from 2000 to 2016.
Acres in Tiger Creek, 3,000 acres, 0.961 hectares. Jaime Briceño, John Briceño, 827.848 square yards to John Briceño, 5.4 acres to John Briceño, and Jaime Briceño, 20 acres in progression to John Briceño. To John Briceño, 6 acres in progression. the Isle of Professor Ogawi, 20 acres freehold to John Briceño, to Eligio Briceño, Eudaldo Briceño, and Graciano Briceño, 525 acres of land. Graciano Briceño, Eudaldo Briceño.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multi-purpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the washers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Rans, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show, 8:30. a.m. Minister Aragon Robert Cheque Usher live on East Radio and also on North Television Channel 10. Minister, we know that you have been busy. What's happening in the East? Because I know you just can't abandon the East like that.
No, man, what?
All the work you got, I know your heart is there. What's happening in the East?
A lot of good things. Like I tell you, Cheque, every week, there's not a week that goes that you can't say we do something. It's every day. This is what I live for. This is what I do. This is my commitment to the people, you know.
Right.
And I do that with all the dedication and vigor that I can, you know. But it's not an easy thing because our constituency is a huge constituency.
But you got an able staff working with you as well, right?
Of course, I got an able staff, and I must thank them. I must thank the East Committee that is there supporting me and behind me. So, you know, we keep working, and it's tough, but I think that it is important that we do what is necessary for the people of Orange Walk East.
Yeah, with your commitment with the ministry and government, and so, Minister, do you still allow time to meet with your East Committee and have discussions and meetings?
Of course. Every day we have interactions, whether it be with the community, members of the community, the public, with our staff, with our East Committee. Of course, we are on the ground, always working for the people. Yeah. I think the idea that is very important, that we do the work that is necessary. And Cheque, you know, every week we talk about all the things that we are doing. And I'll tell you, last week I wasn't here, but I think
Mr. Pete was here. You do a
but
good job too.
Yes, and we have a lot of things that I want to highlight that we have done and that are being done. And this week, the biggest thing we are doing right now, we had the groundbreaking for the Sandy Field.
Sandy Field
in the Pasadena area.
Okay. What type of groundbreaking?
Well, what is going to happen there is we are putting in a bleachers with 2 dugouts, and we're going to lobby and finalize for the bathroom facility that we want to put up there. Likewise, we are putting up 6 posts with 6 brand new lights, LED lights, to light up the field. We're going to repair the basketball court that has caved in for quite some time, and we're going to fix up the rims, etc.
You meet that so when you got there, right?
Yeah, that has been there for years, you know, and definitely we have the groundbreaking ceremony on Monday, and work is already underway. So I expect to see that place maybe within the next month prepared, and that will be a wonderful upgrade, I would put it. To seeing that Sandy Field really stand out for the community out there. I know that the young people in that area are really, really grateful for this. Like I said, last year I was there because we always support the sporting activities there. And there I came to see, and I met a lot of the young people who said, Mr. Aragon, man, we need only help back here. The place really stand bad. And it is true, you know, that parks are not my responsibility, but it is something very important for young people.
It's in the area that you represent,
That's right, and it's been sitting in that condition for the longest. So I decided, along with the East Committee, and we've been able to come together. I've been able to lobby and been able to get some funding from one area to the next, etc., and being able to work together with the various entities, the community, you know, the East Committee that we have, BNE, BL, and others that have now come together to make this a reality. And of course, that's not an easy thing because people, that no money will just drop out of the sky. You have to come up with the proposal, you have to get out there. And I'm glad that we are now able to say, you know what, we're at the groundbreaking level, and we are able to say that this will become a reality. I want to big up all the young youths in that area. Cheque, people like Danny Balam and others that are there who really come out and put their effort in this kind of project. And I must commend them, because then the young youths, and this is the kind of thing that I'm speaking about, we have to look at the kind of investments that will go a long way to keeping our young people positive.
Having something to do.
Exactly, and for me, this is very important. So I am so glad to know that you know what, we are doing this project. I hope nobody come and say, well, you disrespect the mayor by not informing him and this and that, but he is responsible for that. For him, responsibility in terms of parks. He's supposed to deal with anything.
Yeah,
but
also,
we are going to deal with it.
It is something very good that they are doing.
Important.
Yeah, we need to get this
for
call
a young
again.
person.
Yeah, because we want to know how the maintenance go when they fix these facilities.
And I would like
good morning.
Show the
morning,
pictures too,
Hello, morning.
Yeah, morning.
Well, I just because last month I met por ahí de Mantenas.
Ajá.
Y yo no conseguí clase de ellos.
You have to go to the police. Ajá.
No lo puedo ver.
El mantenas tienes que checar. La policía tiene el corte trata con mantención.
¿De estaban?
Sí, I think I have requested the police to deal with that matter for you. But it is the police who have to serve the summons.
Ya está en manos de las policías, señora. Muchas gracias. It look like we have our next call coming. But Minister, I was saying, let's get this one. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Walsh. Good morning, Minister. Minister, I must speak here because you are a minister, proven leader, and do not want to get anything done for the people of Orange Walk East. Just as today, we just put in a bump in the Alice area.
Highlight that.
Also, we're doing some work at the Palmer school ground to assist the teachers there because they were having something event very soon at the end of this month. And you're also a responsible and a proven leader. And you are there to render assistance to everybody in the Orange Walk East and to express that to the people of Belize. Minister, keep up the good work. People might want to criticize because they know that I am one of your soldiers on the ground. But I believe in working for the people, and you have the same mentality like me, and I believe you are proving to be a leader, and you will be elected again come general election, Minister.
Yeah, all right, thank
you,
Mr.
But, Minister, what I was asking, you put a lot of effort because you say you meet these facilities there at the Sandy Field in a very bad shape. That has been there because of lack of maintenance. Now you are doing all these work. How it comes? How will these facilities be maintained?
Well, they're not expensive to maintain. You know, I tell you this because it's just a matter for you to do a little upkeep every now and then. The LED lights that we'll put up are guaranteed for 2 years to be functional, so we don't have to worry about the lights. We just have to ensure we have care for the electrical box that will be put up there. Of course, if the court may need some paint now and then.
Yeah.
But right now it's caved in. Basically, we have to refix that for that basketball court, and likewise the rims and the back, the backstop in terms of the basketball, right? The backboard. So all of these things have to be done. But I don't know if they showed the pictures. But this is what has basically happened. We had the groundbreaking ceremony. We are out there, and after that, I think the contractor, which is Mr. We've gotten Mr. Julian Pat to assist us with that, and he's coming to support us, not in terms of you could say the man and make money there, but
he has the equipment as well.
So he has partnered with us to support us in getting this up and running for the young people. So that is very, very good, and I feel very proud of it because it's going to impact the lives of many of our young people in that area, and to me, that is the most important thing. Apart from that, we also, I will tell you right now, after that we are going to have a groundbreaking this morning at 10 o'clock at the Louisiana Government School. Now, this is a project that I've been working on, and I know the school has been behind it likewise for at least, I would want to say, maybe 2 years now, or a year and a half, put it around there, 2 years now. This is a project through SIF, and I know this personally because I had to lobby hard to get this project for Orange Walk East, for the Louisiana, because these monies were going elsewhere. And I had to show the cause and be able to get that funding to come from the Social Investment Fund, which is government's money basically to be put in Louisiana. And right now, for everybody in Louisiana, they know well that we have been fighting to get this school up and running, and I am glad to say that we will have this inauguration, groundbreaking today, where we will see a spanking new 2-story set of classrooms for Louisiana. So that will be tremendous because it's going to allow us more space for our students. And Louisiana is a fast-growing school, and I feel very proud of Louisiana. Of course, more. No, I don't think we have reached 1,000 yet, but they're getting there.
So now, after this new building, now you can avoid all those crowded rooms, right?
Yes, definitely. It will go a long way, I think, for Louisiana Government School, and we have always been supporting Louisiana Government School. I wish we could have shown the pictures. I think we had about, I don't know if they had any pictures there, but there's a rendition in terms of how the building will be done. The contractor, if I'm not mistaken, is Mr. Vega. Liborio Vega.
Mr. Libo?
Yeah, I forget
a good working man, that.
So, we expect to have good work
have the pictures, Rahim?
I don't know if he has it. Maybe I never sent it to him this morning. I must have forget.
All right,
we do have.
So the groundbreaking ceremonies is today. That means
10.
that project will get started and will be completed.
Yes, that will. Well, the only thing again, the coronavirus situation.
Keep back work.
So work will definitely commence. I think they are signing up already, and so that should commence within the month. Within a month, definitely work kicks off already there.
Okay.
And we wanted to do this because I'm sure that after this, we don't know what the situation with coronavirus. We might not get another chance to do the groundbreaking.
Yeah.
So we are doing it today.
What type of structure will it be, Minister?
This will be a
concrete
structure, a 2-story building. It's about close to anywhere between $1.2 to $1.4 million. And this is tremendous. And this is the kind of work that, I live for in terms of fighting for, because I know this will be here for years to come in terms of serving our East constituency, especially in the Louisiana area. And, you're just like the high school, we fight for the high school for Palmyra. It ended up having to go to Carmelita for a number of reasons. But at the end of the day, I think that these are the kind of work that goes a long way. You look at the Sandy Field, you look at the new building at Louisiana. And I know there's a lot more monies that will come for education in terms of monies being spent in technical. Mm-hmm. I don't know when that groundbreaking will be, but I think that should be shortly likewise. So there's a lot of things that are happening in terms of the East. These are 2 big projects that I am glad that we are able to get off the ground, and it will go a long way for our community. So I just wanted to highlight that, and of course when we do the official inauguration of these things, I will let you all know and the public.
Yeah,
these are just small events that we are doing to do the groundbreaking, and of course I think the inaugurations are the ones that we want.
If all goes well and no delay with this threat of the coronavirus, by when you expected that structure to be completed?
The one in Sandy Field should not. I think within a month we should have those structures up. The one in Louisiana it'll be for some of months, I think, but they should be up before the end of this year.
And how about the projects in Santa Marta, the preschool and
we
the
have
water?
The preschool that I spoke to SIF last week, and they are still in terms of finishing up in terms of the bid for Santa Marta. So definitely before the end of the year, that will have to be finished. Likewise, in the same time as these other projects, you have to look at Santa Marta. I had to lobby hard for that preschool. Again, we had to fight. I had to fight in cabinet to get that money for Santa Marta, because those monies were not slated for there. They had it elsewhere, and I had to stand up and say, hey, if these were additional monies that they were wondering, all right, which other project? I had to fight it, and we were able to successfully get it for it to come to Santa Marta. And so, because it's truly needed there likewise,
Yeah. Hello, good morning. Muy buenos días. Morning, sir. He's saying morning,
morning, sir. All right. Morning, sir.
Oh, how are you? You all right?
Good, right here.
I wanted to congratulate you on the big job that you are doing. In the East, we are seeing a lot of improvement right now. I see that your action afterwards. Yeah, thank you, Minister.
All right, thank you. And
people are not blind.
Yeah, of course. And like I always tell people, some of these things take time. Not something where you do today and then tomorrow you come out, Like the school, the Sandy Field. It's been a while for us to coordinate that proposal, being able to reach out to people that can assist, entities that can assist, along with government, and together we get it done,
And these are important projects as well.
Yes, man, very important. And we have other important ones that are on the pipeline. But like I tell you, Checky, I don't like talk about anything unless I have
You're sure of that?
Pocket,
Yeah.
Because if not, your people, you get people hopes up, and then happen. To me, it's not good. So we have a lot of other things that I tell you we are on the pipeline, and I'm hoping that we can achieve a lot of these things. And definitely everything we do is for the greater good of the East and the greater good of this country. Check it. So I feel very good about these 2 big projects, because they are not small projects. They are very good, and they will have a tremendous
Education is for life,
Minister.
Education is for life.
It's the best gift you could give anybody. Yeah. And of course, I'd like to also say we have a lot of other things that we have done over the last week and this week thus far. We have we had the painting of the Tower Hill Community Center that started this weekend. along with the chairman came to see me, and he said we wanted to get some little work done there, and we are facilitating that.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Hi, good morning. I would like to congratulate the minister on his good works that he's doing for our division, our Joint East.
Yes, sir.
I believe that the minister is a person that really understands what the East wants. And in fact, I think education, he knows well, is one of the most important things for the development of this nation. So, Minister, I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy about what you're doing. And I know the East is transforming. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Carla.
Good work.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
we always work, Checky. And like I said, I don't know if they could put some of the pictures. We had the community center in Tower Hill. We painted it over. We need a new fresh coat of paint to keep it up the thing, and we are looking to install.
That's it there?
Yeah, doing some paint with the chairman and some of the people, the villagers.
Look nice, man.
Well, we just start painted. They're not finished
nice.
yet, but I think it will really look good. They have not finished as yet. I need to go out there and take some further pictures of the finished work. We're going to try to, the chairman tells me he still has the funds that we are going to get an electrician to put up. And likewise, there's other little things that we want to do in the village.
Carmelita Tower Hill got water too?
Yes, they have water. They get their water through Carmelita.
Okay.
So that is some of the little works that we were doing to assist the community there. Along with, we assisted him with 3 footballs, likewise, for your games. But,
yes.
we have plans in place for Tower Hill, things that will reach out to people, and we are working on these things.
That's the chairman there?
Yeah, chairman.
That's Mr. Roque Quijano?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So he's there,
nice, man,
stepping
nice.
up and trying to do a couple things there. But definitely, that's a very small village. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, I think it is a very important village in terms of the people.
They deserve their share as well, right?
Exactly. So we are working on all these little things, and we have other stuff that we are working that are in the pipeline for them likewise. But apart from that, we had the Fiesta, the Palmar Fiesta committee that had the annual La Fiesta del Santo Patron San Jose. That occurred, I think, this weekend. And you know what? Every year, Checky, I have supported this committee.
Yeah, I understand you gave a good cash donation, which is commendable, no?
And that is, we do that every year, Checky. And apart from that, I assist them in terms of getting whatever documentations they need for the fireworks or whatever and all of these things, But I support it because I think it is a very important tradition. It's about culture. Yeah. And I think we can't lose the culture as a people, And I think San Jose, when you look at San Jose being a very unique...
That's San Jose Palmar.
Yes, San Jose Palmar, a very unique village. I mean, it is important that they keep their culture. So when you have a committee like the Palmar Fiesta committee that comes together every year, and you have to understand and commend these people. They come together. They are not a part. They're not a part of the village council or nothing like that. But they're an independent committee that comes together to bring about and keep that culture alive in their village. I must commend them. And, when they ask for that kind of help, I have to find it because it is something good for our community. And every year we have been able to find this. I think we had the picture up there where we handed over the check to him, to the committee,
Okay. A big check, man.
Yes, man, a big check. But
big check.
I wish we could have had more zeros there, right? But, they get a good donation there.
That's nice, man. Yes, that's very nice.
And every year, we have to find it because it is something I think very important. And I must commend the people there in this Fiesta Palmar Fiesta committee because it's not an easy thing, for organize that and get that together. And so I'm glad that we are able to assist them year in and year out,
Yeah, Minister, it's good with all the projects you're doing. We know you are busy through the ministry, because the ministry is not only for Orange Walk, it's for the entire country. Do you have plans, or when will you start? This year's election year, when will you start visiting the people in the Orange Walk home to home, or you started already?
We already started visiting because we have to have that connection with the public. We're a big division, I must tell you. We have 5 villages and the big side.
And they are not really small villages, right?
They are, and likewise, they're not like other constituencies. You have constituencies we have maybe 1,500 registered voters, 2,000 registered voters. We are already close to, I think, if not 6,000 registered voters. So it's huge. Our area is huge.
And that's only voters.
That's only registered. You talk about the population
in
terms of the constituents. So, we have to reach out, and of course we are reaching out to people. I've been visiting people and stuff like that, but we need the time to get in.
But you'll make that time, right?
Of course, we have to find the time to visit people. But I want people to know, listen, you put me here for work, and that the work will get done.
Yeah.
And definitely I want to see great things done for Orange Walk East, because listen, at the end of the day, that is my home.
Yeah.
My family grow there, my kids are there. I want to see the best for Orange Walk East. And I think that we have to look at the work that has to be done, because at the end of the day, I want to know that I have contributed positively for the development and the growth of the Orange Walk East constituency. And for me, that is the most important thing I can do.
I must commend the personnel that are stationed at your office there on Liberty Avenue. When you go there, maybe you don't know it all the time, but when you go there, the people really take good care of. I've been there on different occasions and sitting and waiting on persons that I go to see, and people go there, the receptionists and the other persons that are working there, they really take care of people good. You have good people working there.
Well, we are doing our best. We're trying with what we can. And it's not like we can do everything. It's tremendous. I tell you, the true work of a politician handling a size of constituency that we have, it's not easy. It's tough.
And everybody that go there that want to walk out to the solution or the problem solved, right?
It's not easy. It's not easy. But we are there. Like I always tell people, I'm always there. We are trying and see what we can do to get things done. Apart from these things, we have the continued work that we are doing with the drums. If you notice, if
they look nice.
You're seeing, nice. We have, and like I've always said, if somebody is interested in a drum, you just have to drop by the office, and as soon as we get that drum, we'll go and install that drum for you.
The drums, I see the drums are installed in some public areas on street sides. What do you want to say to the residents about those drums to take care of the drums?
Yes, man, just take care of the
use
drum.
them too.
The drum is there for the public. We have put it in key areas. We are putting them because, people traverse these areas, and we are doing our part to keep the town clean.
Yeah.
And these are the drums that we put together. And basically, we're not just to put any drum and just throw it there. We are putting them on stands so that they could last long. And we have a sense of pride in it, and definitely it will go a long way in cleaning up our town. And so we have some at public places, but a lot of them have been requested by residents, and so we are putting it for them. So if people are interested in terms of a drum, they could always contact our office. And this is an ongoing program that we have, and that will not stop right now. That will be ramped up.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you need a drum, let us know. And as soon as we get that ready and prepared, we'll go and install it for you.
And the drums are not only there installed, they are there for you to put your garbage in.
That's right. Very important, because that is the reason it's there.
Minister, somebody sent a text and said, good morning. What project does the minister have for Champagne Ridge?
Well, for Champagne Ridge, there are several things that we are looking at, definitely. That's a small village, again, that's like Tower Hill. But definitely, I know the people of Champagne Ridge want to see their road paved.
Yes.
And definitely, the kind of work that has to be done for a paved road like that can only come through with the government funds. So it all depends on what this budget will look at, where we can get certain financing to do certain things. So at this point in time, that first priority for that village is dependent on the kind of funds that we get. Apart from that, there's other areas that I think need to be looked at. I know they have the health center that we need to renovate for it to be a place that can be used for such purposes, right? I know I was in the village last weekend assisting the Champagne Ridge softball team that they have there. We gave them a donation of some equipment for softballs. Yeah. But while I was there, I also looked at the community center. I think there's 2 Celotex hanging, or one on each side, that just needs to be repaired, simple repair. Yeah, well, these are the pictures. I was out there with the softball team. This is a newly formed team here in Champagne Ridge, and I was so, proud of them, because, these are lone females, Checky, coming together from that community and forming a softball team. And they asked if I could assist that, and I'll tell you that is.
So you assist them with the gears?
Yes, I think we give them 4 mitts, and I think they got a bat, if I'm not mistaken, and they get some headgears and some baseball, softball, but this is a very expensive.
Important,
but at least we got the backstop with the equipment, the helmet, and this. and other stuff. So like I told them, let us see how they progress, and from there we'll see what else we can do for them.
Yeah.
And I must say that in Palmar there's also a softball team, which is very good. I think that is a very important sport. We don't see it a lot, but it's very attractive to the females.
It is.
And I think it is something good because you get the females. We love football so much at this place, alone football.
I know, yeah.
Having a softball and these women coming up, I must commend them, and I think it is something good. So we were out there with them, but like I said, definitely we have to look at each village. We know their priorities. It's all about finding the money for us to be able to do these priorities.
Yeah.
And I know in Champaran you have that they would like to see that road paved. That's about, I would want to give it a mile, a road, because of course you have the lead piece where would take you to the airstrip, and the rest where could have carried a little over a mile, I think, if you add the piece that takes you to the factory, to the main road, highway. But so these are the kind of things that we have to look at. Apart from that, Checky, in every division, in every village, every part of town, we have things that we want to work on, and there are projects already in the pipeline, that are the plans are already there. It's only a matter of us being able to resource the funding to get it done. Like these were already on the way.
Yeah.
We already worked on these. I have other things that we're working on. And like I said, as they come about, Checky, I will let people know and get that done.
Yeah,
for
Minister,
the public.
you mentioned something very important, and I see that you are very tremendous when it comes to sports. But you mentioned football, but since you started the Aragon's Christmas Cup, from you started in politics, I have seen that the East area has stepped up a lot in persons going to the Louisiana field for football events.
Yes, of course. I think, when I look at that, I think it's very important. Since we have done the Aragon's Christmas Cup, every year has been an even bigger success. And right now, every time you start, it'll be tough.
Yes.
And likewise, I'd like to say that here, that is why when you look at the work we are doing in Sunday Field, it will go a long way, because we have always supported the sporting activities in that area, and we will continue to do so even bigger, because I do think that Sunday Field can become the home of the 5-a-sides or 7-a-sides, 9-a-side sports. So that is why we are doing it here, because it will really, I think, really uplift that area and the young people in being positively involved in sports. And I think the 7-a-side, 9-a-side, that people really like that. And I think it goes a long way, because you get a lot more people involved.
Family members come together and have a
You don't
nice...
have to be in at the toughest of shape, and it is something good. I know Palmar is supposed to be having their finals, if I'm not mistaken, this week, and we have always supported them. So we should be out there to look into that.
Yeah, today is Wednesday, Minister. We know most of the time you're here, you work at your office, but we know you have two very important events for today. That's the groundbreaking ceremonies at Louisiana School and the press conference. In your closing remarks, I want you to touch base a little bit on those and other message that you like to send out today.
Well, just before I get to that, I was forgetting to mention because we had some people waiting for wells in Champaridge. Well, the truck came. I think they dug about 2 wells, and sadly we never find water. They went about 100 and odd feet, and water never come up. So we have to bring the bigger trucks in to try to see what.
That's Champagne Ridge.
Champagne Ridge. Okay. We had some, and of course, I know I was informed yesterday evening in terms of Santa Marta, where the water, again, we have always had a little issue with water when it get low, especially in the dry season. We have already prepared a new place where we're going to put down a new well. We have cleared that area up already, etc. But it is now for getting the big truck. The Ministry of Local Government is aware. Mr. Banner is aware that we need that equipment to come down to dig that a well for us, so we could then find a new location in terms of a new water source for Santa Marta. So these things are being worked on, and of course we remain committed. But in my closing remarks, Checky, I would just want to close off by inviting people to come out today. If if you have a lead time, and I sure we'll have some of the students representing the school out
That's
there.
10 o'clock this morning.
At 10 o'clock. That's for you to
Louisiana.
know. Louisiana Government School. And likewise, we had likewise planned, I wanted to do at the end of the Child Simulation Month, which was this March.
Right.
We were planning an event for the children in terms of a movie night. And also
I remember you mentioned that the last time you were here.
And likewise, we had planned for a church gathering, a huge, where we invited all the churches to come for a day of prayer for the one ecumenical kind of service and out of that now we have decided, based on the COVID-19 situation and that we have decided that we will need to
hold back on it.
that. And we wanted to end that with the whole child simulation month and that, but based on these things we'll have to postpone those events. But definitely, my closing remarks, I just like to say that I am very proud to know that we have a government that is here and that cares for the people. The continued work never ceases. People can see that for their own eyes. If you drive from Corozal right down to PG, you can see the kind of work that is being done. I know the kind of effort that is being done because I sit in cabinet. All the kind of requests that we have made. People could talk about roads, bridges being built. I know people in San Esteban asking for their road. That does already been. We're I think trying to tie down the funding from Kuwait for that. So all of these things are in the making. They will come about just as Louisiana Government School is getting their building, like how technical and getting their investments and Carmelita and all of these things. There's a work in progress always, and I am proud of the government. I'm proud that our government can come together with the opposition in times of crisis, in times of situations like the COVID-19 situation that we are living in right now. And I just want to say that in regards to that, we as Belizeans must adhere to the advice that is being given by the Ministry of Health. Very important. We must listen to them. Let us not follow on what is happening on Facebook because a lot of misinformation is there. Let us listen to the Ministry of Health. They put out these briefing notes on a regular basis for us to know the advisories. Let us follow on that. And I say let us together do our best to keep our country safe. And that can only come by the effort of every individual in this country. We must do what is being asked, washing of our hands regular, in terms of not being out there in the public, in terms of unnecessarily traveling and all of these things. We have to do our part, and I think by doing that, I think we'll be able to overcome the situation. But what is important is that we can come united, both the opposition and the government, in terms of when we have these kind of situations that threatens our national security, our safety, our health. So I'm very proud of that. Of course, we have the continued issues of crime in this country that needs to be addressed. Definitely the Ministry of National Security is looking at this thing keenly to see what plans can be effected to deal with that, because we have employed a number of strategies, and definitely we have to revise these things as we go ahead. But these are the things that has to be looked at, and I just want to big up everybody out there and to thank you all for your continued support in terms of the government and in terms of your support as a citizen to dealing with the crisis that faces our country. And I just want to say that I remain committed to seeing a greater Belize and, of course, to seeing a greater Orange Walk East constituency. And I can only do that with your continued support. And when I tell you that we are getting things done, it's on a week basis, day-to-day basis. We are working for the continued growth and development of our beautiful Orange Walk East division. And with that, I just want to thank you.
We have the press conference today too, right?
Yes, today at 2. Yeah.
Okay, folks, we'd like to thank everyone who tuned into the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 3 minutes after 9 o'clock next week, Wednesday. If the good Lord so will, the minister will be back here. If the minister is unable to make it, representative from Orange Walk East will be here. So have yourself a good day. The show repeats at 9 o'clock tonight. Today, 12:30, we have the repeat of Channel 7 News right here on North Vision Channel 10. And 6:30, we got the live news. Also, we'd like to say good morning to the listeners of the East Radio. Everyone in the East, good morning, and thanks for, listening this morning. My name is Robert Checker Usher, and Minister, this is the way we go, right?
Yeah, buck with the buck now.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Early Morning Show.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination